You've just crossed over into
Dr. Ed Montgomery.
The Shift.
What's coming? What's coming? What is it? What is it? What is it?
Hello, caller, you're live. What's on your mind?
Dr. Ed Montgomery.
The Shift. The Shift.
Right. All right. Right. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here at The Shift. We are live here on February 10th, 2025, post Super Bowl. We are after the Super Bowl activities and here during the blackest of Black History months that I think we're having, because when they say we can't have it, we will have it more than we've had it before. So I like that. That's not bad. We will have it more than we had it before. Somebody write that down out there and start spreading hashtag we will have it more than we had it before. Black History Month, the blackest of Black History Month. We will have it more than we had it before. Now, we got a few little things to talk about. And but before I talk about anything, I want to say welcome to those of you who are listening, those of you who are with me today. Make sure you hit me up, Ed Montgomery 1 on Instagram. Also, Ed Montgomery, all platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube. I've always got a video that I've dropped on yesterday, and where we're dealing with a lot of these topics. I don't get up on Sunday and do sermonettes. I don't do stuff like that. I talk about people in life, and I talk about things, and I apply other things to other things. But I don't talk about that on Monday. Monday is reserved for certain things. It's reserved for you. So thank you so much for joining us and being the star of our show here on The Shift with Dr. Ed Montgomery and your host, Ed Montgomery. But the person that's at my side, and that's when I feel comfortable, and I know I can not say anything I want, because she might pull the plug on me, is Donna Franklin.
I would never do that, Dr. Ed. Never.
Don't pull the plug on me today.
No, I can't do that. I get so excited when you're coming in. Hi, Dr. Ed.
You know, I may have to pull the plug on you after I asked you about the Super Bowl. What happened?
I have on green today.
You have on green today?
Yes. It's a green day.
It's okay. If it's a green day, should I ask who you were rooting for?
Can we say none other than the Eagles?
Okay.
Fly. Eagles
Okay.
fly.
All right.
Up to the sky. Okay, let me.
You know, people ask, they say, well, who are you rooting for? I said, well, it's a game to me. I don't have what they used to say. I don't have no dog in this hunt.
Yeah.
But I liked the message of the Eagles quarterback. He said something that made one of my eyebrows pop up and say, oh, okay. And he said, and I hope I'm paraphrasing it right. He said, winning is to beat your opponent. But if you lose, that's learning.
That is true, though. Because it was the same team 2 years ago. It was the same team that the Eagles were going up against. And I felt this with everything in me, because if you watched Jalen walk off the field 2 years ago,
okay,
you knew that he was like, I'm coming back here and I'm not going to do this again.
Somehow I'm getting back here.
And I'm not going to do this again.
And you know, it's not easy. You don't get back like that. That's not that easy to do that.
It's not. No, it's not. And I think the Chiefs totally underestimated the Eagles. Totally.
See, a lot of times when you're on that field, and I deal with people whether they are actors, whether they are celebrities, professional basketball players, football players. I do a lot of professional. I mentor many of them, people who are in the upper echelon of their profession, because sometimes they feel, once I've won so many times, where do I go? Where do I go? What do I do? And it's interesting. The Chiefs, they focus on their game and they do what they do, but it was something about them Eagles. They came out.
They wasn't playing.
They were not playing. And you know what they
Focused.
said? You know what I think they said to themselves?
What?
And we don't have no bird flu. We Eagles.
Yep.
Because they killed the eagle.
Yep.
I mean, they had to euthanize an eagle because the eagle had the bird flu.
Yeah.
And so these eagles said, we don't have no bird flu. We playing today. And I think after the quarterback after Jalen threw that first, that interception that he threw, after that, he said, I think he threw an interception. I think he did, didn't he?
I don't remember the Eagles
you don't remember none of those
doing
things.
nothing wrong.
I know you don't remember.
They didn't do nothing wrong.
You were looking through a different filter.
I know I was.
You said these Eagles gonna win this thing.
Yes.
But I had to give it to them because it was the attitude they had. And I could tell by their attitude. I said, if they don't win on the scoreboard, they're gonna win inside of their hearts because they got
played.
the attitude.
They did.
And they would not gonna let that go.
And the thing about it is, even though the first half was good, I was like, no, I can't get excited now.
No,
because the Chiefs
I've done it before, yeah.
are a come from behind team. They will come from behind and get you just by 2 points. They're that kind of a team, but they didn't.
But you got to have that.
Yeah.
You got to have a comeback from behind attitude in you. And so what happened, it looked like the Eagles just destroyed that comeback from. By the time they got, and I don't talk about nobody. It's a game,
Right.
And they be talking about, well, we praying for this one. You can't pray for nobody to win no game. God don't let
that's not
one team.
right.
People, well, we're going to take a knee and we're going to pray that God helps us to win. No, that doesn't happen. But you could tell after knocking the wind out of Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my God.
Several times. I mean,
several.
That hurt.
Yes.
It hurt you inside. And you could tell their play, their kind of play, their type of play shifted a little bit after he got knocked down that many times. So it's about attitude too. It's about attitude. What you going out on that thing to prove. And the Eagles said they didn't come out there to prove they were the best team.
No.
They just came out to
win
and to play their best and play against themselves.
Yeah.
I said fantastic. Then in halftime,
that's the big talk of that was the talk after halftime. It was the talk at midnight. It's the talk first thing in the morning, and they still talking.
A lot of religious people sometimes get their little their underwear in a bunch sometimes because I wasn't going to say what I was getting ready to say.
I love it, Dr. Ed. I love it. Okay, good.
But and the reason is because they think that all the spiritual people might be in the pews and in the pulpit, but they don't realize that pulpits are everywhere. Pulpits are not just embedded in churches. Pulpits are everywhere. And I'm going to throw this word out that KL, I call him KL, Kendrick, he threw out some prophetic words.
He sure did.
And
I'm sitting there going, did he just say that? Yeah.
Yes, he did say it. And it's, you're on YouTube and places like that. They break down Kendrick Lamar just like preachers break down scriptures, and they can break down. Do you know what he said? Did he say this? He said that about Drake and da. But, and I'm going to tell you why one thing he said, and of course they all got their words that they use and everything. Some words I would never use, but that's me. But most prophets, a lot of people wouldn't use the words that we use as prophetic voices, but one of the things he said he had to protect his mind, his mentality. even getting therapy at times. And he says, he says, money. He says, I've never been one that's always in the beginning of my career had a lot of money. He said, I was afraid of it. I didn't think about it. He said, because I didn't want it to change me. Now, that attitude right there, that attitude will take you very, very far, because when you understand what money to a black man is black currency, because they traded on black skin. So instead of somebody else making money off your black skin, why not have the black man or the black woman who has the black skin make the money off of themselves and realize that they are valuable outside and inside? And so he said that. And so his mindset is a little different than Drake. Just, they're different. They're
Totally.
two different people.
Yeah, they are.
I don't judge one or judge the other, but then the Donna, you got a little something you were giving me a little bit. Read that. What were you telling me?
This is a synopsis
Yeah.
that I follow D.L. Hughley on IG.
Let's hear it.
And he said just some of the subliminal messages Kendrick Lamar laid on us. First one, Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, a.k.a. The House, like he played in Django. Samuel L. Jackson warning Kendrick to play the game white America wants us to play and not be ghetto. The Squid Game stage, which symbolizes the rich killing the poor. The dancers in red, white, and blue representing the American flag. The stage also being a prison yard where his black performers harmonized while he rapped. Protecting black women like Serena Williams after the disrespect from Drake. And once again, reminding Drake and America, they not like us.
I got into that Sunday.
Yeah.
I got into that was the title of my setting. I call it a setting. My session Sunday was they not like us, or are they like us? And what it is this controversy, because who is they and who is us? Because when you say us, all of us is a us. Each one of us is an individual. So if we're individual, we think we're like this other person next to us, but not necessarily, because all of us think different. And then we look at they as people who don't think like me. So when you say they not like us, you could have a racist standing next to an activist that are saying they not like us, saying the same thing but having two different meanings.
Here's something else.
So it causes opinions, and that's what Kendrick does. He caused us to think and to talk.
That was some real, and he did that last
Yeah.
night. Lamar also opened up with the revolution will be televised. When I heard that, the revolution will be televised, I said, here we go.
Where did that come from?
Gil Scott Heron.
Yes.
Gil Scott Heron. He said, you picked the right time, but the wrong guy. As black dancers formed the U.S. flag before telling the crowd to turn his TV off. That, because and here's the deal, Dr. Ed. When you think about halftime Super Bowl Sunday, you expect to be thoroughly entertained.
Of course you do.
You looking for this, all the fanfare, all the entertainment, da. But this Super Bowl, you sat there and went, what just happened?
I had
What just happened?
They tell a story about an old woman in church, and she went up to the preacher, and the preacher was just, whatever. And she finally said, listen, don't teach me nothing, just make me feel good. That's what America was saying. Don't teach us nothing, just make us feel good.
Yep.
But
Yes.
he taught them something.
He did.
And the White House was up in a box. There wasn't the White House in the box. The White House.
Yes.
See, I don't call names. So the White House, and then there's Spaceman. Are you
Yeah.
catching on here?
Yes.
So I don't call names. I just say White House and Spaceman and come up with different names for different things. So I don't want to defame or hurt anybody. Yeah. I just want to be nice. But I think the White House was up in a Super Bowl box. And I wonder if he even heard Kendrick Lamar, what he was saying.
Was he still there? Because I'm
Or
gonna
did
tell
he
you,
leave?
I don't know. I saw him walking. They did an interview with him. That's the only time I saw him. They didn't pan him. They-
Well, he said he was there. They said he
yeah,
was going
you
there.
saw him. Well, he walking on the field, but after that,
okay.
after that, I didn't see him no
Okay,
more.
well, you know, my eyesight, I didn't go see that anyway. So I don't particularly one way or the other. I don't know whether or not, but I doubt very seriously. I wouldn't, if I was the White House, I probably wouldn't have stayed for Kendrick, because I would have, somebody in the White House and my staff would have said, sir, I don't think you want to stay here for Kendrick. Kendrick's not the one you want to stay here for. But then when he kept playing that little thing, dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
and the crowd start dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
and the crowd start going crazy, he said, I don't really want to do this, but it's popular.
Yep.
And I got to do something about it because it's become controversial.
Yep.
And so I said, oh my goodness, they're not like us. And so people said, well, but you know it's in the Bible. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, the flip of it is in the Bible where he sings they're not like us. It says in Genesis, I believe, and God said, let us make man, male and female, in our image and likeness.
Mm-hmm.
So and it didn't say, and God made, it said, and he said, let us, or God said, let us make man. Nobody knows who us is. But if us is made in the image and likeness of God, then evidently God is saying to us, they just like us.
Mm-hmm.
Now that freaks people out because they can't see themselves or the divinity of themselves in other people. That's what supremacist is. You can't see the divinity in other people. But I didn't mean to get so heavy on that.
You got to call.
But then, okay, yes, 713, give my number out. 713-313-4354. What else? Oh, I didn't even want to go into all these places getting shut down because they won't let the Congress people in to the,
Isn't that crazy?
and all of
But
this
you
stuff.
know what?
The money about diabetes, where they got it down to $35, they putting the price back up.
Yep.
Do you know that Texas has the major outbreak of measles? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
All of those, the measles, you know the flu is going crazy. I'm not
Yeah.
just talking about the bird flu. They talking about flu.
I had my shot.
And that's why they're telling people to go get their shots.
I got mine.
But you got somebody that's going to go in the CDC and everything telling you
Don't get no shot.
don't get no shot.
Ooh, Lord Jesus.
Now, Donna, I'm asking myself the question here. Is somebody trying to hurt us? Trying to hurt me?
You would think.
And who is it they don't want science involved?
How you gonna do something without having science involved?
Isn't it crazy that the last time we had an epidemic, the White House was in charge saying that there
Ain't
is
no epidemic. Ain't no. Yeah.
And now all of a sudden the bird flu, now the measles. Where's all this coming from?
Planes falling out the sky.
Where is all the infections coming from? There was no need to have an outbreak of measles. Whether, take off your mask. No more. There are people and parents that are anti-vaxxers. Now, I'm not, but you see, maybe we got to think about that. You got anti-people out there that are affecting other people. And then you got older people. And then you got people who are black or brown people who are catching the hell first because of the kind of jobs that they're in and the money that they make. And oh my goodness, I don't want to panic nobody, but you know what? I'm wondering, was this the wrong time not to vote? But it's happened. I got a call on my line. They still there?
Yes, you do.
Too.
Hello, caller. You are live on the shift with Dr. Ed Montgomery. How are you? What's your first name and what's on your mind?
I'm Kendra. And you know what?
Yes.
Everything you was just saying is absolutely right. But God. But I want to talk about the halftime show. I enjoyed it. You know
Okay.
why? Because I heard the message.
Okay.
And
Turn your radio down, darling.
the Super Bowl wasn't what people thought it was going to be, just like even the commercials wasn't what they thought it was going to be. People in their own way are trying to send messages to the people so they can say, hey, look, open your eyes and look. Open your eyes and look. This is demonic thing. This United States of America and the leader want to have hatred roaming on this earth. Open up your eyes and pay attention. And you know what? It's starting from the head. It's starting right there in D.C. at the White House, okay? But you know what? The good thing, Dr. Ed, we're going to be okay because as long you just said, let us. God was speaking to somebody. He said, let us make man in our image. And our means something. And what Kendra Lamar did when he said they not like us, because a lot of people's not made in God's image, even though they was created. But
Okay.
anyway, I love your show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your call.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Give another call.
Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Ed Montgomery. What's your first name and what's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing, Doc? This is Damon.
Damon, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I
Good.
just want to say to you and Doc Donna, y'all doing a good job. Keep up the good work. That's all I have to say. Keep up the good work.
Did you enjoy it? Did you watch the halftime? Did you see the halftime?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it? Did you enjoy it, or you don't care? Or what? Tell me.
Well, I'm 51, so I was kind of like a lot of the messages didn't come across to me.
I got you.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna hate on the young brother. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, sir. He's not that young, by the way. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. How old is Kendrick?
Oh, don't give me. I have no. Wait a minute. I'm about to find out, though.
How old is Kendrick Lamar, Siri?
Kendrick Lamar is 37 years old.
Okay.
Okay, he's young.
Yeah, he's still young.
Yeah, he's young. He's still young. Okay. We got another call?
No, sir.
Oh. Yeah. So, I thought it was, that was interesting. Then I said I'm not going to get too deep into the news. And then there was, the news where the Congress people couldn't get into the offices of the Department of Education. And so the security guard said, you can't get in. MAGA says, you can knock all you want, but you can't get in. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. And so Congress was upset. And so but the American people were watching the Super Bowl, and the American people were going into other forms of entertainment. I don't think America's paying attention right now. Because America's about their own thing. They say, okay, you in the White House now, shake it up. I think everybody in the country kind of wants things shook up a little bit. I think we all kind of look at the government and say, what they doing?
Right.
Over the years, we've finally been saying, what are they doing?
Right.
You can put a black man as president and still you seemingly get the same results, although some things were done, but there are some things that were not. And you ask yourself the question, what are they doing? So maybe they need to shake it up.
No, but people have to understand why President Obama couldn't do what he wanted to do, because he didn't have control over the House and the Senate.
Of course.
So he couldn't do anything.
Well,
and
he had
he
it.
understood.
In the beginning, he did.
He did. And he understood the Constitution, that you can't make decisions without and just arbitrarily moving things and doing things, which is happening now because there is a process.
Wait.
Okay.
When you say they can't do anything without, the rules and everything, evidently
Well,
they doing it now.
like I said, he understood the Constitution.
But you don't. Okay. So you take the Constitution, you say these beautiful words, and you put them on paper, and you say to everybody, we're going to live by this Constitution. But then you vote for
Non-constitutional.
a felon, okay? A felon. You vote for a felon, and the felon's in the White House. First of all, you're scratching your head and said, how did that happen? How can somebody who's out of South Africa, who has not been elected, but I guess the president can put anybody in a position that they want, evidently? I don't know.
So Jerlando Johnson, that's Jerry, the bass player,
Okay.
he texts and says, Sam Jackson playing Uncle Sam last night was a representation of Sambo.
Yeah.
And you have 3 calls on hold.
Okay. Let's talk to my callers.
Okay.
That's on hold. Hello, caller, live on the air with The Shift. I am your who am I? Who am I? I am your host, Ed Montgomery. And what is your first name and what's on your mind? Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's I. Okay. Well, hello, homie. I think you're either from New York or New Jersey, huh?
No, but I'm close.
Ed Montgomery?
Yes, I'm close. I'm from Ohio. I'm close. I'm from Ohio, from Cleveland. I'm out of Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have some relatives there. But, okay. I thought you were from New York City.
No.
But it's okay.
But I love New York.
In the last days, the revolution will be televised. That was the last poet's line.
Okay.
It's exactly what. In the last days, the revolution won't be televised. Well, it's televised now. And you see the privilege of privileges, and, the privileged class is not going to give up its privileges willingly. Nancy Pelosi said that. It was a quote from someone else. I'm not surprised. I thought that the show that Lamar did, I can't comment on because I'm back in the Apollo days when I saw all of the Motown reviews for $3.
Oh, did you? Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
You and I are in the same generation, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I only understood a little bit, and I'm depending on other people to tell me what it was so that I can sound intelligent on my show. But I'm kind of like you, too. I didn't understand too much myself.
One thing we can say, he had all black girls. You didn't have to guess on them. He had a lot of production in it. I don't know who was behind the scenes because my sister and my brother-in-law work in the business of show business still.
Okay.
At their old age. But yeah, I thought that was good about it. Looked like he used the folks. Looked like his budget. So But exactly what you said, you and Sister Donna have gotten on to something. Here we are watching a Super Bowl, a game that didn't really look like Philadelphia was. Well, I'm going to leave that one out, too, how hard they played. My husband's from Philly. But one thing for certain, we're all watching the Super Bowl, a game that was over really from the start. And look at what's happening in our country with this man.
Amazing, isn't it?
The revolution won't be. The revolution is televised, and we're going for it.
Right before our eyes.
Before our eyes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You have another caller?
Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Ed Montgomery. What's your first name and what's on your mind?
Hello, this is Ray.
Ray, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Good.
Enjoying the discussion this morning. We're living in some interesting times. But it's an exciting times too, because the U.S. and all the slave colonies are losing their power, and Trump is overseeing the downfall or the shrinking of America. And I think what we got to start looking, we got to start looking more global, and people got to understand and study these BRICS countries. Are you familiar with it?
Yes. Yes, I
Well,
am.
BRICS is what's happening now, and
Oh, that's Russia.
That's what we
That's Russia, China,
that's
South America,
Brazil,
Brazil, Africa.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They're not going to be using the dollar to trade.
Mm-hmm.
The dollar is eventually going to be devalued over a period of time. So Trump's just here to babysit, make these people feel good as this painful decline. It's going to be a slow decline. China, Russia, they're going to be the leaders.
It's interesting.
And but it's important that we don't get excited and get upset with the name calling, the Nazi salutes, and all that kind of stuff, because we still got the same objective, and that's to educate ourselves, enrich ourselves, and stick together, because that's what has caused a lot of this stuff in the first place. A lot of these people that's MAGA, they've dropped to the bottom. And they got nothing to lose. So they don't care if the government is dismantled, the billionaires rob them, because they think they're going to hurt you.
Well, all right. Thank you so much for your comment. Let me go to my next caller. I'm good.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, I know I had another one. Hello, caller. You're live on air with Ed Montgomery. What's your first name and what's on your mind?
Kevin.
Yes. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Okay. Boy, you all got me kind of fast, so it kind of caught me off guard.
Did I? Good.
Good. But yeah, I didn't watch the Super Bowl yesterday at
Okay.
all. I'm kind of cutting my way away from the sports.
Okay.
There's too many other things that's going on.
Okay.
And I think one thing that we need to begin to talk more about is what's happening over in Africa. There's some great things, like over in the Sahel area.
Mm-hmm.
There's an alliance of Sahel states with Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And basically what they're doing is they're booting the French and the United States and everyone else out. And they're taking over and they're doing things themselves.
They're trying to shut that. They're trying to shut the colonies, the colonialism out. They're trying to get it out of there and get back to themselves. Yeah, go ahead.
There you go. And you know they've actually they're producing an electric car over there. Really nice looking car. So I think that what we need now I've cut myself away from sports, and I'm not saying for other folks to do that. You do what you want to do. But I think with
and you're not the only one, by the way. There are those out. There are a lot of people out there that are beginning to wean themselves from this kind of thing, to where things are just entertaining us, and it's softening our minds, and we're not watching what's going on. The left hand is doing one thing, and the right hand has us entertained, and we're not watching what's going on.
Yeah, and so I think that we really do need to begin to look at Africa, because there's a lot of good things that's going on. You're having dual citizenship over in Ghana. Not only those three states, but Ghana as well as Senegal and Guinea. All of those states, they're forming an alliance. And so I think that we need to begin to look that way. I think I feel like with the Trump administration, and we've been through this before. I mean, this is nothing new.
Yeah, we
but
have.
I think that
This is a big one, though. This one is a big one, though.
It is. But I think that what it signals is that our time is near. So thank you so much for allowing me to express myself.
Thank you so much for your call. Donna, one of the illustrations that I like to give, I want you to imagine a toothpaste tube. And I want you to imagine taking your two fingers, holding it down to where the opening's toward the bottom, letting gravity, and start squeezing the toothpaste out of the tube into a little bitty container or something, and squeezing it until that toothpaste tube is totally empty. It seems to me, while we're being entertained, the rich are squeezing the toothpaste or the money out of America, and they're going to give us the tube 5-10 years later on down the line and say, you want this country? Here it is. But there's no toothpaste in that tube. There's no money in the coffers. What can you do with an America that has no money? Hello, caller. You're live with Ed Montgomery. What's your first name and what's on your mind?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Glenn. How are you guys doing
Hey,
today?
Glenn, how are you?
I'm doing mighty fine. Listen, I got to be real quick 'cause I got to get back to work, but I listen to you guys every Monday. I just wanted to say, between the last caller and the other caller that touched on brick, that is the real problem right now today in this country. That is a real problem. And we are being isolated. Other countries are trading amongst themselves with their own currencies. There's no tariffs involved. So we don't have trading partners anymore. We are being isolated. And that is a big problem. And the White House, as you say, he doesn't want to talk about that. He stays away from it. He mentioned it one time and said 100% tariffs on any country that tries to isolate away from the dollar. Well, guess what? They're all doing it right now, and he hasn't said a word. We owe China and Japan so much money. We are upside down with them. In fact, just last year, we were $2 trillion upside down. In other words, we spent way more than we took in. We're in bad shape over here. So I've learned so much from this one gentleman. His name is Dr. Richard Wolff. He is straightforward. He's a top-level economist, and the title of his show is Economic Update. I encourage anybody listening, go and check that out because he takes it right down to the wire. And don't believe anything that the media is telling you about Russia and how bad a shape they're in because of sanctions. They're not. Russia's economy is outpacing ours right.
I don't know about that, but I'll leave it there. But you know what?
Okay.
You said a word. Thank you so much for your call. Donna, there is a lot to talk about.
There is.
And a lot of the things, and you have to kind of put a little sugar with the medicine for America to take their medicine because America doesn't particularly want to take the medicine. And they're not looking at what's happening. They're thinking that America is going to continue on like it always has.
It can't.
And it can't. And it's interesting. We move from the Super Bowl, and guess what's going on in the news now? The trade from the Dallas Mavericks to the Lakers. Now, listen, that's wonderful. That's entertainment. You know, I understand all these things. But it seems that there are minds that are being switched from one entertainment form to another, to another, to another. And then you wake up and we're 2 years into this administration. And we're asking ourselves the question, how did it happen? Why don't you all make a change? And it doesn't seem to be, you say, well, we didn't like the Democrats, so we gave it to the Republicans. Well, we need to give it back to the Democrats. It's not the Democrats or the Republicans. It's in the hands of the American people. What do we think about things?
We gotta take a break.
Or do we not think at all? Hit me up on Ed Montgomery Instagram. Follow. We need those algorithms. And Ed Montgomery on YouTube. Check out my videos that I drop and all the shorts and things of that sort. And don't go anywhere because I'm going to come back. And I think I want to ask a question. I got to lighten it up just for a little bit. I got to find out about what's going on Black Love Day. You know what day that is, right?
No.
Black Love Day.
What day?
Love Day, baby.
Oh, Friday? Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you some things about that.
Then we go gonna talk a little bit about Black Love Day because it's not depressing me, but I study this. I need to talk about some Black Love Day, and black is not a color. Black is. Be back.
The Shift with Ed Montgomery will be right back on The Choice 90.9 KTSU, your community station.
KTSU, I am your host, Ed Montgomery, and I'm so glad you are listening to us. And of course, with me is Donna Franklin. We are just talking about so many different things, but one of the things we were talking about is how you can have everything seemingly in America going crazy, but yet on the other hand, there's so much entertainment. It's like how a magician does their tricks. In other words, while they're doing a trick with their left hand, they're taking your attention with their right hand because that's how the trick is done. That's how smoke and mirrors are done. I think right now we're in a moment of education. Maybe you think the same thing. This is about where we need to educate ourselves, not just with history. History is one of the most important things, and not just black history, but we got to go the blackest of black history. In other words, you got to go before history. Black people had history before they got on the shores of America. And I was sitting down even talking to some ministerial people and talking about some ideas that they don't like to, a lot of people don't want to talk about in church. Maybe somebody needs to sit down and maybe we need to talk about our theology and how we have allowed the European influence to push us too far. And maybe we need to be bold enough to change some of that European influence and go back into the things that made our people whole. And not back, but forward and looking at things differently. Christianity didn't just begin 2,000 years ago. The concepts and the philosophies began a whole lot further back. But that's just some thought. Keep thinking about those kind of things. Anyway, let me go to the telephones. Is my caller still there? Yes. Hello, caller. You're live on the air on the shift. Is she there? He, she?
Dr. Ed and Dr. Donald.
How you doing, Henry? It's good to hear your voice. I haven't talked to you since last year. I don't think.
That's right.
How you doing?
Right. Dr. Ed. I'm good. How are y'all? You and Donna?
We're doing excellent.
Thank God for y'all. I've been meeting a lot of important people lately, so I'm kind of trying to keep a low profile. But anyway, Dr. Ed, if anybody, the African American people are not, are we really surprised to what's going on right now? Other races might be surprised, but not us. We've been living like this for 250 years. So are we surprised? We've been getting treated like this, been getting fired and for no reason, any reason, that reason, whatever reason.
But you know what, Henry, though? But you know what, Henry? Henry, you know what? I think that some of the people who are not used to getting fired at very high positions that are starting to get fired are saying, I didn't think they were talking about me. And just because you black and making 6 and 7 figures does not mean they're not coming after you. So
if you operate the system, stuff roll downhill. It's got to get some of them too. I've always said, Dr. Ed, if any person reaches the position of Pharaoh in America, you are a king. I've always said that. So these people are scratching their head. All this stuff that's happening now. They've never had to deal with it. They doing this stuff on the run. These people told us who they were in the book. So, if you insult me with a smile on your face and I asked you that before. Is it still an insult? It's still an insult, Dr. Ed. I don't care if you insult me, I don't care if you insult
But isn't it insult how we take it? Or they may look at it at how they give it. They may not consider it insult. They may consider it a truth. So,
Absolutely.
We look at our history. We look at our history and the way they teach history. Hey, that's an insult. You're not including us, but they're saying, well, you're not included.
At all.
Yeah. So.
Well, and now the system is set, so you won't be able to do none of that.
You can't. You can get. You might as well forget all that. All those days and holidays getting ready to go. So, if you ain't got that history inside of you, that's. But then isn't that what Carter G. Woodson taught us? He taught us that.
Yes, sir.
We got to do it a certain way.
This BRICS thing, Dr. Ed, I mentioned it, I think, last year to you. These people are serious.
Yeah, they're very
the
serious.
dollar, it's not going to mean as much at all. They want to. They saying America just ain't playing right. So we're gonna do our own system of currency, and it's BRICS. It's a lot like.
Well, we're gonna see.
Callers before you said it's already implemented now.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
African nations, a whole lot.
But we got
lot more nations. They say.
Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Henry, go ahead. You got 15 seconds, so I'll get to my next call.
Like I said, Doc, welcome to Project 2025. They told us what they were going to do. When somebody tell you what they're going to do, you might just want to believe them. God bless you, Doc.
Thank you, sir. Hello, call you live on the air with Ed Montgomery. What's on your mind? What's your first name?
Hey, this is Andre.
Andre, hey, how are you? What's going on?
Oh, well, how y'all doing, Doctor?
We're doing excellent. How you doing, Don? You doing all
right? Kendrick, I didn't see the Super Bowl, but I saw when he first brought out that tune.
Uh-huh.
And it was very intriguing to watch it on the internet with the words. And he had an old school flavor in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that would be very interesting for you to watch.
Oh, okay.
From a different.
You said they have the word on the internet. They have the words on the screen, or?
Yes, sir.
They're doing that for older people, Donna. They putting the words.
I don't mind that.
They're doing that for us. Okay,
well,
I got it.
I'm close. I'm close also up there in age, so I try to keep up with the youngsters.
Uh-huh.
But really understanding where we at in this world, even though we are made in God's image, we think we are gods, and we're doing our own thing. So it's not really beneficial for us to follow one another or come together because we want to be entertained or have fun all the time. You know, piggybacking off of, leading up into Valentine's Day. You know, I loved it when I first began it, but when I realized this, I've done all that can be done just about. So I try to live every day like it's Valentine's Day or any holiday for that matter.
Yeah, you can't rot your teeth anymore with that candy. There's only so much you can do. So, yeah, you got to figure out. You got to figure out something else. Well, Andre, are you married?
37 years this year.
Oh, that's right. Well, then you better figure out something else for Valentine. You better be creative Friday.
Well, I used to go on the side of the road, pick up flowers. And,
don't say that on. Don't say that.
No, you're not doing that.
Don't say that on the air.
No, I refuse to believe that that's what he's gonna do.
I'm gonna stop on the side of the road.
My mom.
You shouldn't
I will
have said.
be the most romantic guy you ever hear.
Well, don't tell Donna you're gonna stop on the side of the road. She don't look at it. She don't like that. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate your call. Donna, you know.
You have another caller.
You know.
Yeah.
We were hearing that they were saying the Republicans, Democrats, all the Republicans want is power, power, power. And nobody could understand, what are they talking about? Power. We want power. We want power.
They ain't getting it.
Well,
by any means
they
necessary.
have it.
Yeah.
Power gives you the ability to break the rules.
Yep.
And then to take the rules that we consider you can't break and to pull those rules off like wheels off of a car. And so now when you start the car and drive, it's all like somebody has jacked up your car and took your tires. You driving down the street on just the wheels. So this is what power does. Power strips the laws. And there is a little bitty passage, ancient text that says, where there is no law, there is no sin. In other words, I wouldn't know what sin is if I didn't know about the law. So if you can strip the laws, you can strip the penalties. Isn't that what we've just seen from the White House? Interesting. Hello, caller, you live on air with Ed Montgomery.
They just hung up, but let me tell you something.
You got to stay with me.
Yeah,
Don't just hang up on me.
You got some text messages, Dr. Ed, for real, for real.
What I got?
Okay, let me,
what I got?
Dr. Ed.
Yeah, we toward the end of the show anyway. Tell
Trick
me what
is
I got.
correct. Trump robbing America in one hand and making it unnecessarily hard for everyday people. Changing laws and taking rights away. People are sleeping.
Yeah.
And he goes, I believe, here goes somebody else. Ooh, I believe this is the shift we have all been talking about, right? I think it is amazing how people put their mouths on God's business as if we is us and us is we. Shift. Man looks on the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. The Super Bowl was super as usual with everything mentioned in the shifting to date. As for the White House, how many black people voted for Reagan? How many black people voted for the Bushes? Do you believe the elections are fair? Did someone else did something about it and they called him a criminal, but he still won. And a lot of black people voted for him. For the halftime show, I was impressed until I heard that he abuses his wife.
Who?
You said you heard that. I don't know. I've never heard that.
I've never heard that either.
Me neither.
I'm not even going there.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not even touching that because that was something that you heard. So, do you want to know what the American people are thinking? It's this. Hey, Rocky, watch me pull that rabbit out of my hat. The American people are so dumbed down and distracted by superficial junk, as you just mentioned about the Super Bowl and trading the sports world, that nobody is paying attention to the real issues. If you know anything about the fall of the Roman Empire, leading up to that,
they're writing the book on us.
Yeah.
So we got
okay.
What's the next one?
That's it.
I mean, they're getting into it.
They're getting into it.
Don't get me wrong. They're getting into it. See, now, this kind of show would be something where you almost have a panel talking about certain things.
Right.
That you can talk about, when you got bricks, when you're talking about what's happening in Washington at the same time, what's happening with entertainment. It is so interesting how we are being so entertained at such a high level of being entertained while stuff is going crazy. How can, it's just amazing. It's amazing to me that how can someone who grew up under the apartheid system be the co-president of the United States of America? How can measles epidemics, when we've done vaccines, measles epidemics, polio, things of that sort start coming back that we've conquered? And then you're going to shut down certain aspects of the CDC, take money from the National Institute of Health. How? This is some scary business. And then we resort to the drug of entertainment. We resort to the sermons of celebrities. And we want to talk about, and church, we don't even know what that definition of that word is anymore. I'm not telling anybody to go anywhere, but maybe we're going to the wrong places. Maybe we're sitting under the wrong messages. Maybe we're so bogged down in some areas that we just want to fall asleep. Well, I'm saying to you, wake up. It ain't over yet. Because there's another voice that's saying, you are like us. We made you in our image and in our likeness. You are like us. The divinity, the spark of the divinity is there inside of you. It is in each other. The only problem is not that you're sinners, it's that you're lost. And lost people belong to somebody, and lost people can be found, and your true purpose can be found. But then again, I wish I had more time, but I don't. Bye.